Everybody needs a torpedo bet in Seattle. I'm in. I'm in.
I'm 100% behind the idea that the torpedo bet is a placebo effect, by the way.
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
I don't care.
Hit it. Welcome to the Coach's Sons podcast. It is April 14th as we record. My name is Andrew.
I'm Chris.
And we're going to Sorry, I got Chris mid-sip. Today's episode is going to be a little different. We have, courtesy of our good friend Chris Krawczyk, we have an interview afterwards with Erik Bakich. He is the manager for the Clemson Tigers. Chris, how was that?
Yes, it was awesome. I hope everybody enjoys it. I hope someday he's a recurring guest. I felt like we were able to break the wall down a little bit. I think he gave a really good answer to why we should like college baseball, more so answering it and like why it's different. So I think it's really good. It's going to be attached to the end. We'll timestamp it for you. So if you care to go right to it, feel free. So again, any new listeners who are here for that interview, welcome. I hope you enjoy. Please let us know what you liked, what you didn't like, because maybe we'll get the chance to get them on again as they are up to number 2 in the country right now. So they're playing really well. Cylinders.
Playing really well. Also, too, that interview is brought to you by our good friends at Chinook Seedery. If you love sunflower seeds or if you're on the fence, you need to try Chinook Seedery. They have the best tasting seeds. Their flavor does not overwhelm your taste buds with sodium. They're spectacular. If you use our code CoachesSonsPod at checkout, you will get 10% off. So thank you again to the Chinook Seedery folks. By the way, if you don't know, big into college baseball. They actually sponsor what is the Heisman of college baseball.
Golden
Spikes. So they are very involved in that. I'm glad that they're with us to help sponsor this. So again, look at the timestamp if you want to, but if not, you should listen to us talk about baseball. So Chris, what do you want to talk about today before I start complaining about the Braves again?
Well, if we're going to go there, I'm going to talk up the Mariners really quick. And I know we said last time we don't want to do this all the time. However, I was doom and gloom. We are 500. Anything is possible right now. The world is our oyster. Greener pastures are ahead. We turned it around. We took a series against the Astros. We swept the Rangers. 2 big division series there. They played well. I have nothing to complain about. We did lose Ryan Bliss for what seems like the season, really long time towards bicep. So we've got a couple holes that are popping up here and there. Rowdy Tellez went deep. He took Jacob deGrom deep, which is just a typical Mariner. Jake and I of Raise the Trident. We're just like, yeah, sure. Like, of course, that's what he does. So typical. Well, I wouldn't say typical Mariners, but great pitching performances. The bats kind of came alive. Cal Raleigh got himself a torpedo bat, and we are on. We are here, baby. That's all we needed. What did I say?
Yeah.
Send them to Seattle. Cal had 3 home runs this weekend,
Love it,
including the go-ahead home run in one of the games. I forget exactly which one. My days are all mixed up, but everybody needs a torpedo bet in Seattle. I'm in. I'm in.
I'm 100% behind the idea that the torpedo bet is a placebo effect, by the way.
Like, doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
I don't care.
But they play better because they think it makes them better, but it doesn't actually. Anyways, I think that's a really great theory. So if you haven't heard it, you should give that some thought. The only thing I'm going to say about the Braves is that we play the Toronto Blue Jays this week, and so I'm going to be on the Buds and Blue Jays later this week to go over that series. But I'm not going to talk about the Braves here. I will say the one thing I want to talk about the most is the World Baseball Classic. So listen, I didn't like it when they first started doing the WBC. I thought it was lame. Not enough good players were playing. I don't think they took it seriously. But the last time the WBC happened, I was in.
Is it every 4 years?
It's every 4 years. It's like a World Cup, essentially. And so, I mean, those guys, and maybe it was because we're coming out of COVID. I don't know. But the national team, like the U.S. national team, took it serious. And I just fell in love with it. I was like, oh, they actually care now. There's pride on the line instead of just like, oh, this is just another spring training thing, which is what it has felt like leading up to that year.
Past.
So I'm excited. And the reason that we're talking about it is because Big Judge has been named Capitan.
Aaron Judge, El Capitan, Captain America, if you will. That's fine, right? He should be. But do you feel like Trout should have been?
I mean, if he would be healthy the whole time, but no one feels like that's something he'll be able to achieve. Who knows? It's Mike Trout. They may have offered it, and he's like, I don't care.
Well, no, you know what? I mean? That's completely reasonable. Yeah,
I feel like that's more.
I'm going to take back what I said, and I'm going to go run with that idea. Trout was offered and said exactly what you said. Didn't decline. It was just like, it doesn't matter. And then it's like, and Aaron Judge was like, really hell care. Yeah, like I'll do it. Like, Aaron Judge is like front and center everywhere, right? He loves the limelight. He doesn't care, so he's in. So like less pressure on Trout. He doesn't care. He gets to just hang out and mash bombs.
Exactly.
Okay, I'm. You know what? Aaron Judge is our captain. Captain America. We're not worried about Trout. Trout's on the team. We're good here. So I won't say I cheated because I didn't write it down, but I did see a couple of this. So I think you're more on the spot than I would be. Mm-hmm. I want to just talk quickly through who you think, as of today, should represent us.
Ooh.
Like, I don't think we need a whole spiel, right? I don't think we need to be like, okay, first base, and let's do a soliloquy on why so-and-so needs to be there. But just like, almost like a rapid fire. Let's throw out, like, go by position. Let's name a guy. Let's go from there. So catcher. I'm going to vote Cal Raleigh, but it could be Adley.
I was going to say it's Adley. Yeah, I think Adley's the name.
But Dumper, man.
Dude, I mean, I'll let him ride the pine for us, but you're really going to take him over Adley? No, that's not going to happen. No.
All right. Anyway, I'll digress. Okay. First base. Not really sure, but probably
Bryce
Pete Alonso. Oh yeah, Harper.
Oh, I guess Pete's fair too.
No, it's Harper. It's Harper.
I would say. I mean, unless there's a DH, then I guess there's a different conversation. But let's say Harper. Moving on.
Yeah, I'll go with Bryce Harper. Second base, I am unsure right now.
That one's tougher. Is Nico
shortstop? Well, shortstop's Bobby Witt Jr. So that's lock, stock, barrel.
Yep.
I should have wrote.
I would say third is probably Bregman.
You have Bregman. You have Austin Riley.
If he can get his shit together, I think Bregman and Riley are the two main.
We're gonna miss guys here, and people. We're definitely gonna miss guys.
This is just what's This is what's popping at the moment.
Second base is this gonna sound bad? A bad question. Jazz Chisholm.
Okay. Yeah, I'm with that. Yeah. I'm with that.
I think that works.
Because he's playing third, but he plays second too.
So. Yeah, whatever. We'll move guys around. You'll have to figure it out to be on this team, baby. Outfield seems easy. Judge, Trout, and Kyle Tucker.
Yeah, I agree. Yep. Boom, boom, boom.
I don't think that needs to be talked about much more. And then, we have a pretty good list of hitters.
Skeens, right? Scooble.
Well, pitchers. So I think that's what happened last time. Our pitchers weren't.
I don't think we had anybody really.
Yeah, they kind of backed out. And again, whether they were voluntold to be out is another story. Because I remember like Kyle Freeland, Merrill Kelly were our guys. Which whatever, I'm going to ride with them, but they're our guys.
That's rough.
So to your point, Scooble, Skeens, you're talking Zach Wheeler, you're talking Aaron Nola, you're talking Logan Gilbert.
God, it's so nasty. Nasty.
Right? Like we've
Crochet,
got a
probably.
Oh yeah, Garrett Crochet.
Strider.
Strider, Corbin Burns. We've got guys. Oh my God. So hopefully,
our pitching. Yeah, holy crap.
Hopefully, we could get some commits on the pitching side. I think that's going to be the hard part.
I agree.
Bullpen, we Mason Miller in the back, on the back end. Let him fire the ball in there. I like it. I like the team. I think they named Mark DeRosa as coming back as the manager, if I'm not mistaken.
I'm okay with that. Obviously. And like you got guys that like Trey Turner who played really well.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of other names. I think Trey Turner was on that team.
I'm not. How about this?
I think Rice Hoskins was on the team too.
I'm not. worried about hitters. It feels like we have a plethora there, and we could figure that out.
We do, but it's who's going to play. I think we have more options.
But that's what I mean. If guys drop, right? If Pete Alonso won't do it, we got Brett Rooker. If Bryce Harper won't do it, we got Pete. Like, you know, what I mean, we've got guys. Yeah. I think like Lawrence Butler might even be able to. Michael Harris, like guys like that. Like, those guys should get involved too.
Matt
right?
Olson, Freddie Freeman.
Yeah, all right, hang on.
Yeah.
Hitters, we're set. Pitching could get ugly quick. Hunter Green. Yeah,
he will
do it. Hunter Green. I think I would. He'd be like one of the first people I ask because I think he would do it immediately.
Yeah,
like I feel like I don't know why I'm putting words in Hunter Green's mouth.
You're like Hunter Green wants to play in the WBC.
Yes, I think he does. I'm putting words in Hunter Green's mouth.
Okay,
I want him numero uno for now.
Man. I mean, I think that would be awesome, and I believe, you know,
I'm excited.
I am too, because like I said, the last one we saw was amazing, and so hopefully they build off of it, and it's just as great. Now the other teams are going to get better too, if that's the case.
Yeah. Oh no, this isn't a runaway. I'm saying you'd be excited about your team. We lost to Japan. Now, if anything, now they're more experienced. They've been in Major League Baseball, and guess what? They probably still have 3 or 4 freaks that are coming back up that we're eventually going to take over at some point.
Yeah.
And then don't forget Dominican and all the there's teams that are going to be a problem, but I'm excited, and I know that's a crazy thing to say because we literally have we have this whole season to play out and we're 3 weeks in, but I don't know why that judge announcement, you're like, let's go.
I'm with you. Like it's starting early, and I think that's really cool. And hopefully, you know, it's going to be a lot of fun. And maybe by next year, we can actually attend some of these things. We'll see. But you know what's next year too? The World Cup is next year too. Okay. So there's going to be a lot of national things happening next in 2026, the year of our Lord. So, okay. Couple other things that I want to get to. I think the biggest injury that we saw was Justin Steele. He's out for the year. Have they said it's full-blown Tommy John, or do we know?
I don't know. I just saw Passon's tweet originally was like elbow reconstruction, and it was like at the time that it was posted, it wasn't sure if it was Tommy John, but he's done. And that's a big blow. The Cubs were. We're having a nice year so far, and he's, at the top of that rotation or near it. So they kind of they take a pretty big hit there, and it'll be interesting to see how quickly they're going to try and move some stuff around to fill that much needed void, right? Because Shota's fine, like they're going to be okay as far as at the very top, but losing an innings eater like Steele, who can get the job done and pitch at a high level, I don't think anybody could be thrilled about it, and we'll see what
the Cubs are playing good too. I mean, the Cubs are, the Cubs, the Mets, the Dodgers, of course, the Padres, and who am I missing?
The Giants.
The Giants. Holy crap! Okay,
so there are 5 teams as of the time we're recording this with double-digit wins. All of them are in the National League.
Yep.
Mets, Cubs, Padres, Dodgers, Giants. The Padres are the best team by win percentage, right? They haven't all played the same number of games at this point. So some pretty good starts. The Giants took a beating to Seattle or beat up on Seattle. So that doesn't count. They're not that good.
It's okay. The Padres and Dodgers both beat up on the sucky Braves, so
that's true. Got it out of the way early, though.
Their win-loss is inflated.
I mean, that's the thing, though. With I know it's early, but you still want to stack up some wins, right? You want to stack up series wins, right? Because all right, we're playing the Braves, like that. In theory, that's a tough series, but you're like, if I could sneak a series win or even a sweep, great. That's out of the way. I'm done playing the Braves. I think, right? It has how that goes. I'm pretty sure it's now only one.
I think we have one more series against both of them, I believe. Yeah.
I forget exactly how they broke it all down.
Yeah.
So you still, again, my point is, the Mariners are 8-8, but like you want to do the Pirates opening day. You want to win 20 games in April. Not to say you're going to slip up, but at some point you're going to get cold, right? You're going to lose some games. They're going to come a lot hard and heavy, and you need to be able to weather that storm. Unfortunately for, Mariners, Braves, some of those teams at the bottom, they're having to weather that storm now. It is still a long season. There's a lot going on, and you guys, I believe, are getting Strider back.
Strider's coming back next week. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, he's been pitching well in rehab for the most part. I mean, say what you will about pitching his way through the ranks, but I haven't looked at his outside numbers or velocity, all that type of stuff. But based on his outcome, it sure as hell seems pretty solid.
He's striking out double-digit players. Yeah, it's nasty. Yeah.
So and if he's coming, he's got to be progressing the right way. Exactly. So good for you guys. You're going to get him back. So those are the top teams. I don't have much to say about those particular teams at this point, right? Obviously, some of the play. I know Pete Alonso's off to a good start. Kyle Tucker's doing Kyle Tucker things. It's going to suck when he actually doesn't re-sign with the Cubs. For the Cubs fans. Yeah. Right. I mean, it feels inevitable.
Yeah, it does. I'm happy for the Padres because we were so unsure about what that team was going to be, and they're playing really well, which is good. I like Michael the Padres King, a lot.
He was involved in trade rumors, maybe just by fan fiction. I don't know if he was actually shopped. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if that was just people on the internet making that up, or if he was actually being, they were taking calls on him. But he just threw a complete game. He's turning out to be very, very good. They're going to need to keep pace with the Dodgers. It's a long season. The Dodgers are, already banged up. But I think Freddie's back from his slip in the shower. I had people questioning whether or not you were right about your data on the shower thing. And I never questioned. I looked past, like, yeah, whatever, sure. And then it turns out that is actually what happened. So I was kind of surprised. I looked past what you said. I didn't even give it why
are people questioning my knowledge of Freddie Freeman? Come on.
People were coming at you, man. I don't know what you want me to do.
Well, all you that came after me, suck it. I was correct.
So that's the bottom tier or top tier teams. In terms of bottom, it's your bottom dwellers. The Rockies are the worst at everything. I think I just got a notification Chris Bryant's on the IL. I don't know.
He was helping.
I almost feel bad for him. The organization itself, I feel bad for. White Sox still aren't very good. I did see something that the White Sox and Dodgers were talking about Luis Robert. But I think talk stopped. So, but who knows? But we know that the Dodgers move quick and they have assets to move, and the White Sox don't know how to value anybody. So we'll see how that plays out. But it certainly seems like Luis Robert's going to get the hell out of there, which is great for him.
Good for him.
Luis Robert fantasy owners at this point. Well, so real quick side note, this wasn't planned. This isn't on our list of stuff. How you feel about your fantasy season thus far? Too early to tell?
It's too early to tell. I feel like I'm 1-2. Last week, my pitchers just shat the bed. Like, none of my pitchers did anything. But my lineup is pretty sturdy, but my pitchers just didn't come through. So I think if that's just a one-off, I'll be okay. Because, I mean, everyone, every pitcher did subpar. So, but I'm not panicked.
Sometimes you just have to eat that week and keep it moving.
Exactly. Because it's head to head,
I'm in just too many. Like, I'm in 4 leagues, and I know that's
too many.
I'm in 5 leagues. That's leagues.
Way too many.
And I know that doesn't sound like there are people who are in 30 of them. But the other, last week, I just missed a big, a start. And I was just and he had 4, I forget who it was. I think it was Freddie Peralta. And he's my number 2 pitcher. Just because I went all bats. I was why?
You can't do that.
I just missed it. I was I just wasn't paying attention. But when I looked back, I was I looked at these lineups 6 times today. How did I miss that? So that's wildly frustrating. So I feel like I'm in too many. I think 5 is the max. But other than that, that's where I'm at. Do you have either of these players who are playing out of their ass right now, who is Mike Trout? You probably stayed away from.
I did not have Mike Trout. Yeah, I did not get him.
He is. If he's playing like this, I would have wanted him to be captain.
Yeah, I completely
He's got 6 homers. He's doing his thing.
Good for him.
I love to see it. I hate that it's in LA with a very underachieving team. But so be it.
Whoa! What do you mean?
They're a bad team.
They're at the top of your division.
They are a bad baseball.
I was like, hold on. You're talking shit about the team that is winning your
revisit.
division.
I will be prepared. What's today? April 14th.
April 14th.
Whenever, I'm not looking at a calendar. Whenever the first episode of June is that we do, I will have a 5-minute rant on how shitty the Angels are.
It's June 9th.
Okay.
Okay.
I will put that on there. Chris rant on the Angels on how bad they actually are. Or if they're in second or first place, I'll do a 5-minute puff piece on them on how great they are.
I'm writing this down now.
But like whatever it is, they have to be second. Here's the rules: first or second, puff piece. I'll give them all their credit, all their kudos. Fourth or fifth place, I am ripping them apart because they're a terrible franchise with a terrible owner. Third place, I won't say anything. We won't even bring up the Angels. We'll bring up this happened, and then that'll be it. Even if Mike Trout's playing well, I don't get to talk about anything with the Angels if they're in third place.
Okay, sounds great.
That's my rule. Write that down because we're gonna forget that. Because it just came to my mind.
Angels 10th, first or second. All right, what were you saying?
We forgot about the ump meter, whatever the hell that guy's name was that we said we were gonna do. We had an ump meter. I haven't been keeping track, but umps suck, man. They've been pretty bad this year. I think there was one guy who did 100% perfect score.
Nice.
Hang it in the Louvre. Let's get Josh on the phone and get him in the Hall of Fame for that. The other guy, know that. Other guy, Hunter Green. He's turning into I kind of jumped the gun there earlier, but he's kind of turning into the ace that we want him to be. He's young. Yeah. He's holding it down for that Reds team in a very much hitter's ballpark. I'm a big fan of him. I don't think the Mariners have to face him, so that would be nice.
Fingers crossed.
But yeah, he's pitching his ass off. He's doing very well in terms of ERA, strikeouts, just really at the tops there.
He looks like next level for sure.
Who do you want to call out or talk about or shit on or?
All of the Braves are still shitting pretty bad. I think Devers obviously had a really bad start. He's starting to look like he has some life, but it's still. Maybe he really wanted to play third, so feel bad for the Red Sox fans with that happening. But I think your boy over there in Seattle, though, is looking really talented and looking like he wants to make that Cy Young run. Gilbert, I think he looks
Gilbert. Brian Woo's turning on too. I love that. I love what's going on over there. Again, starting pitching wasn't my issue. There's everything else going on. I love Logan Gilbert. So thank you. I'll take that credit for sure.
Yeah, that's all I got for you right now, though. I don't think anyone's really. There's no unexpected because it's still early, so it's tough to be like, oh, this guy's performing really well. We'll see what happens in like 2 weeks. Obviously, Skeens is. Throwing whatever the hell he wants at this point. I feel like he has 20 pitches or has at least tried 20 different types of pitches, and they all work. The dude is a machine. I really think the only thing that's going to derail him is just going to be health. So if he stays healthy, we're looking at probably one of the most dominant pitchers we've ever seen.
It's always health. It's always about health.
It's so early to say that, but I've never seen a pitcher come in so early and be so dominant. It just doesn't make sense. You're not a 20-year-old, a young 20-year-old dominating the major leagues. That's not how that works. It's just not. So, Good for him.
Oh yeah, and again, it sucks that everything you talk about in baseball you have to preface if he stays healthy.
Especially pitchers, like the WBC thing too. The pitchers, they bow out because they don't want to put miles on their arms. And I get it. It sucks.
But I don't even think it's them though. I think it's the team saying we don't want you to put miles on your arms.
I think it's both. I think pitchers they're going
to get paid no matter what.
No, pitchers are so hyper aware. They don't want to get injured, Chris.
No shit, but
okay. So that's the thing.
I think it's the teams.
Okay, I think there is the teams, and I think the pitchers themselves are like, yeah, you know what? I don't want to do that because I want to pitch the whole year. I'm telling you, pitchers are hyper aware about the mileage that they're putting on their arms.
It's spring training. Give me 3 innings and go take a hike. That's all I need. If I got Skeens, Crochet, and Corbin Burns lined up today, yeah, give me 3 each. And
I don't disagree with that. So let's hopefully someone else carries that message and the pitchers buy into it because I'd love to see it. But all right, man. Anything else you want to say before we get to our interview?
before the interview, I have one. I saw this on here. This has been on our notes app for a while. So this is a question posed by Dalton Thiele on X.com. And his question was, if someone were to offer you $250K, so 250,000 smackaroos, to take an at-bat against someone like, and you can insert name here, but he named Justin Martinez, Ben Joyce, Jose Alvarado, etc. So you're talking guys that are throwing 100.
That's about to say,
right?
They're throwing heat.
But there's a 50% chance you take a 102 plus mile an hour fastball to the ribs. Would you take the at-bat?
Ow. To the ribs. And I can't wear armor on my ribs.
Nope.
So
you have 50-50 shot.
Okay, here's the if you're telling me it's to my face, not happening.
No, ribs. Ribs.
Ribs hurt so much. Oh my God.
Could crack a rib easy.
No, multiple. That's not a rib. That's like 3 ribs.
So on that question, so not only is that a harder question, underneath it, I was like, you know what? You could even propose how many pitches, if I gave you, I'm going to make it up, $10,000 per pitch, how many pitches would you go after? Or even the same amount of money. If I gave you $250K per pitch, how many pitches would you accept?
Oh, then it's 50-50 getting hit in the ribs?
Yeah, like unlimited. Okay. You have an unlimited amount of.
Here's the question.
If you said I'm going to take 1,000 pitches, great. That money is yours, but you have to.
Okay, so if I have to tell you how many pitches prior, I'm not doing it. If I get to say, okay, I'll do one, and I don't get hit, I'm like, okay, I'll do another. Then absolutely.
No, you know I think in the fairness of the question, you have to say it beforehand.
Okay, I would,
and you have to be present for all of them, or else you get all or nothing. God, so if you say 5, great, you're gonna get that money. Over what's that, 1.25 million. But
so my brain wants to say 4 to get to $1 million. However, the likelihood of getting 2 fastballs in the rib cage, it means that is multiple ribs being broken and possibly puncturing a lung. So I will take 2 pitches, pray the first one misses me, and just take the pain of the second one. But if they both hit me, it's not worth it.
50-50 shot. I'm 100% wrong every time. It's insane. So I probably get smoked by 2. I got every injury in the world.
Yeah, I'm gonna say
I'd have to sign a waiver that my medical bills are covered too.
Yeah,
and if that's the case, I would at least take 2. I'd consider 4.
I would consider 4, but I would see someone else get hit, or I would just see him warming up. I'd be like, you know what? No. I want 2 max, because that those. Chris, have you ever seen 102? I don't think I have. I've seen.
No, you can't. My eyes aren't. What do you mean? My eyes aren't. The closest I ever got. Hang on.
Okay, yeah.
The fastest I've ever seen. I probably 90. Yeah. From the bench.
So
from the dugout.
I took an AB against a guy that was being clocked in the high 95, right? Okay, so young college kid, and it was the scariest thing I've ever done.
I can't even let alone fastball.
So fast.
Wait, let alone to be fastball, strike, swing. By the time I realize it's fastball, it's by you.
Yeah. Those balls, you hear them coming. It's so wild. It's so fast.
The closest I could even come to that is on MLB The Show. If you do, I forget what status it is. It's the highest one. It's either GOAT or Legend. You can't even see the ball. It's stupid. I tried it yesterday just for shits. I was in one of the modes as a board, and the batter, the vision thing is the size of a pea hole, and then the rest of it's impossible. I didn't get one hit. I think I made contact twice. I struck out 4 others. I tried to drag bunt. They wouldn't even let me do that. I was like, this game sucks.
This game is stupid. Yeah,
I suck. But yeah, that's the closest I would ever get to that. I mean, I guess it would be cool to see, but I even if I was standing there for a Skeens pitch, just to be oh, I'm in the batter's box while he throws a bullpen, I'd still be I'm terrified.
Yeah, it's it's wild. So yeah, no, 102 is and it says 102 plus on this little question. 102, like, are you telling me I might take a 105 to the rib cage? No, I'm out. I don't want it. So
I agree.
yeah,
102 is too much.
2 max is the best I will do, and
max,
I might even chicken out and do 1. I'll do.
So
1.
for the 1 at bat, would you do it? 250K 1 at bat.
I would do 1.
He gonna do 1.
I do 1.
That was like 2 weeks ago that he posted that. I was like, that's a good question because it's just an interesting spin on some. So again, that was from Dalton Feely, D Feely 14 on Twitter.
Well, that was fun. Anyways, if you made it this far, thank you so much. Obviously, this is a shorter episode because of the interview, but thank you for sticking around. I hope you enjoy the interview, and we'll let Chris take it from here.
All right. You're about to hear from Coach Erik Bakich. He's the head coach of the now second-ranked Clemson Tigers. I hope you enjoy. I forget how long it is, probably 30, 45 minutes or so. So, again, let us know what you think. Make sure you follow, like, subscribe, share it. Tell your friends. Tell your friends' friends. We hope he had just as much fun as I did, and I hope to get him on again sometime. But without further ado, here's Coach Erik Bakich. All right, welcome to the Coach's Sons podcast. My name is Chris, and if you're hearing a different voice, you would know that already because Andrew is not with us today. However, we are joined by Coach Erik Bakich of the Clemson Tigers. Coach, thank you for joining us today.
Hey, happy to be here. Thanks, Chris, for having me, and appreciate being on the Coaches and Sons podcast.
Yeah, so I'm going to get started with this question, and our listeners will kind of know this is where we stand thus far. I told you beforehand that we do mostly Major League Baseball. We haven't completely gotten into or immersed ourselves into the college game. So I figure there's no one else better to get me into college baseball than you. So I really want like your elevator pitch on why I should be more consumed by college baseball, more ingrained in the game, and why it is better, or maybe you say it's worse, but I doubt it, but why it's better than Major League Baseball and why I should spend my time there instead of MLB.
Sure. Well, it just depends on your preference. I mean, the MLB is like the Navy SEALs of baseball, and at least from a coaching standpoint, I like this level because you're still molding and shaping the person and still helping these guys become who they're going to be as men and as future husbands and fathers and just, community leaders. At the major league level, I think it's just, more tactical. The coaching is more tactical of, what's the information that's going to help them perform the best, be the best, have the best, strategy to have success. So I personally love the college game just because of the growth of the person, as well as, of course, their successful baseball abilities. But I love seeing the growth of the person. And I think from a fan's perspective, they get to see that maturation as well. They see that development over these critical 3 to 4 years. These kids are here. And the difference is, you go to Truist Park, it's an unbelievable environment. I mean, what's better than the Battery behind Truist Park? We're trying to do something like that here with the ultimate entertainment zone. But the kids aren't running the bases on the field after the games and hanging out with the players and high-fiving the players in front of the dugout. And the kids at our games are. They come on the field, they stand on the field for the anthem. We bring them onto the field during, promotional events to each inning, doing whatever stretch group with the team. And then after the game, they're literally jumping the fence and, they're hanging out with us on the field and getting autographs signed, running the bases, doing all the things. So it's just a different type of environment, different type of atmosphere. But when you roll all of it in together, I love college sports in general, but certainly love the developmental aspect and the connection to the fan aspect of it. That's just unique here at Clemson, but unique as well in college baseball and college sports.
And I would just tend to agree with you there. I went to the one South Carolina game in Greenville, and then I've been to the opener of the Notre Dame series at Clemson. And you could just tell, just based on what you said, just a very sense of community right? Everybody's, there to just cheer on Clemson, even if you're on, an opposing fan or whatever. Like you said, you could see I've seen you take some pictures, sign some autographs, all of that. The team is very friendly to the fan. So I think, you're embracing that community as a whole. And that's a big part. So I'm going to start this by talking about you, but it's ultimately going to kind of roll into the players. So on social media, I feel you guys have embraced that by a tenfold. And I don't know if I'm in my own echo chamber, if it's just the Clemson thing, but I feel like I see you and your team all over the place, right? From the Savannah Bananas partnership to, Cam and Aiden Knock, and it just, your whole team is doing stuff. And not only are they doing stuff on their own, but you're tied to it in a way that you're embracing it. You're reposting their stuff. You want their names out there as well. So like how much, I think it's great that you're doing that, but where does that, I'm trying to think of the right way to phrase that. How much does that mean to the team as a whole in season? Obviously that feels like a big pitch in recruiting, but in terms of your day to day, how much is that received by the team and noticed where it's like, wow, like he really supports what I'm doing here, not just on the field and as development, but off the field and my opportunities elsewhere?
Yeah, well, you just answered the question, the opportunities component of it. So this has been it's going to be a long-winded answer, but the very short answer is because it affects the money our players can make. The long version of it is, I got off of social media. I was anti everything. I canceled all my accounts in 2020 every time I got on social media after COVID, I would just get pissed off. Like all the narrative and the rhetoric it was just like, I just completely disagreed with a lot of the things I heard on social media. It didn't bring me any joy. And I said, to hell with this. And I got off for 4 years. So from 2020 until November of 2024, I was off of social media. And then in November of 2024, I said, you know what? I'm going to get back on. And it just so happened we played the Savannah Bananas, right in the, early part, right around the election.
Yep.
And I saw firsthand how the Savannah Bananas players had captured the energy and the enthusiasm of fans and baseball and whatever, and how they had also used their influence to create a lot of affiliate marketing deals for themselves, and how they were able to monetize. And I learned that some of them make even more money in endorsement deals because of their influence, beyond their salary for playing for the Savannah Bananas. And it was just like, oh my God, what, yes, this is it. So now fast forward to where we are today, April 8th, and we're 2 months and 22 days away from the world shifting again and NIL deals becoming commercially driven. And so since November of 2024, it's been a bit of a mindset shift, but a kind of an all-in mindset of, we need to be as influential as we possibly can on social media. We need to have our followings as big as they can. Our players need to be active participants in this space, because on July 1, when NIL moves to the original intent of NIL, not necessarily collectives and rev share, but if they're going to get outside deals, it's going to be commercially driven deals where businesses, if I'm a business owner and I want to hire a college athlete to help sell my stuff, well, yeah, I mean, I could just gravitate towards the All-American quarterback, sure. But also look at this group of guys over here, the Clemson baseball team. They're different. They're unique. They have like literally built a brand on having as much fun playing baseball as they possibly can. And I want to hire those guys, and I want them to help promote my product, because, I want to connect with the consumer and the, whatever. And so a lot of it's been that. And so our guys have really got behind it. I've got behind it. Brian Hennessy, who's on this call, has got behind it. And, we've all been as creative as we possibly could be, The getting inspired from the Savannah Bananas, getting inspired from Absolutely Ridiculous, who's the hat I'm wearing right now. People who have these innovative, creative genius, in the DNA and foundation of their organizations and their companies. And we've just gravitated to those people, and we've really kind of built something unique and different here, at least over the last 4 or 5 months. And it's translating on the field. Our guys are having a lot of fun playing baseball, and we're getting their best playground mentality because of it. But ultimately, the desire is to help our guys monetize, weaponize their creative brands, their creativity, to get these affiliate marketing deals post July 1 and create as much value for themselves individually as they possibly can, so that someday we can say the same thing, that our team makes more money in these endorsement deals that they have with this commercially driven NIL sponsorships than they do in rev share and than they do in the value of their scholarship.
Yeah, I mean, you guys are doing a heck of a job. Like I said, I've seen you everywhere, from you to the team, and it has to be playing a part why you guys are the 4th ranked team in the country. You guys look loose. You look like you're having fun. And it seems like that's the culture you wanted to bring, and you very well brought it. So I have it's maybe a negative type of question on that. So you're having all this fun, you're doing all this on NAL stuff, and you're having great success. And I don't want to make this seem like it's a negative question, but I'm curious how you might approach it. Hypothetically speaking, let's say your team starts struggling. I feel as though that the outside world will say, oh, they're just messing around. They're doing all this NIL stuff. They're not focused. So like hypothetically, if the team went on like a little skid, how do we get everybody back on track? Or is it just keep doing what we're doing and this process is going to work no matter what?
Yeah, I mean, you anytime you have a rival, so we have South Carolina, and it doesn't, we're going to get the trolls and the hate and the negative comments regardless, whether we, sweep them or whatever, we sweep them, but we still haven't won a national championship, right? So so I think there's always going to be negativity no matter how good or bad you're doing. But we certainly put ourselves out there for any of that negative criticism of how we could, look at all this stuff we're doing on social media. And but we know, and everyone else deep down knows, that it's not a distraction. It's only amplifying what we're doing, all the good that we're doing, all the good we're doing in the community, all the good we're doing off the field, as well as all the good that we're doing on the field. So I don't worry about that. In fact, part of me getting back on social media is truly not caring what the negative comments are, because the negative comments are going to be there regardless. And so it's a choice if you choose to listen to those and have it affect you. And I think our players are doing a good job. I mean, they put themselves out. Any high level, tippy top 1% of college sports, no matter the sport you play, when you're at the tippy top of your sport, there's always going to be negativity, and that's okay. And that's, you sign up for it. You're on the biggest stage, you're playing under the brightest lights, the stakes are the highest. Doesn't matter if you're on social media or not on social media, you're subjected to any type of criticism, fair or unfair. So I think it's a choice to whether you're impacted by that internally or not. We just choose not to be. We're going to keep doing what we feel like is our formula, our process, what makes us good. And for us to channel the best team that we can be, we got to play like those 10-year-old little leaguers they used to be, with the smile on their face. And that's how we're going to be good. And that's how we are good. We're playing with a lot of smiles out there. We're playing loose.
Should be.
We're playing like we want to clinch something, not like we're going to clench something. And so we talk about that, the difference between clinch and clench all the time.
We want to clinch, not clench. I like that. So I think I could even, like, just personally, I could take something away from this in the way of, I'm on social media and, they call it doom scrolling, right? You see something negative and all of a sudden you find yourself in this abyss of negativity. And I think, from your growth of saying I'm off of this in 2020 to now being like, you know what, I'm just going to ignore what I don't like and and continue on with what I like and keep doing, trusting the process that I have and in my personal opinions. And I think that's a great move. And again, everything you're saying is showing with your team and on the field. So it's not like I could even combat you and be like, hey, you're blowing smoke, because that's certainly not the case.
I think if you're convicted as well, if you have a high belief system in something and convicted in it, then, and it's been a proven formula, then even when you do have the inevitable gut punch or, whatever the case may be, adversity that strikes, it's not going to affect you. In fact, it's how you frame stress, and we frame stress as it's a good thing. And so any negative, any adversity, anything that's could be perceived as negative, we look at as a bad thing. We look at it as a good thing. It's going to help us be better. So, it's what we do, and we feel good about how we're doing it.
So I'm gonna piggyback off your clinch first clench. This team we're the 4th ranked team in the country as we speak today. Everything seems to be rolling. Clearly, from a coaching perspective, I'm sure there are some things you could nitpick at that you could do better, do worse. You've been to the dance, right? You were runner-up College World Series at Michigan. You've been to regionals, super regionals. Compare this team to some of those teams. Does this team have everything in its arsenal to make that push, to get that trophy, to shut up everybody from the University of South Carolina? So when we sweep them, we say we have that trophy, right? Give me the pitch that this team should be there, deserves to be there, and will be there until the end this year.
Well, a lot of teams have the ability to be there. I mean, it's talent is certainly needed and can take you so far, but when you get down to where these games that are decided in the postseason, where everyone's good, everyone's hot, and the margin for winning and losing is so small, it comes down to sometimes just one pitch or one swing or one play. A lot of times it's the things you can't control, the quote luck of the game, the bounce here, bounce there, call here, call there, the wind blowing in or blowing out, whatever. Like it's the way it is. But it's usually the reason for not going, not making it, not winning that last game, has nothing to do with the physical talent, because everybody's good. Okay. And once you get to that level, there are the guys that have been, handpicked by God as like you're a genetic freak and you're an unbelievable base. There are those, sure. But usually it's everybody's really good. Everybody's got good pitching. Everyone's got good players. Everyone's got whatever. But it's going to be all those other things. And so I think our mindset is we want to earn the opportunity to get hot when it means the most, which is why we put such a target on all the little things from day one, August, first team meeting. And then once you start down this path of there are no little things, and it takes what it takes. And there's no finish line once you start on that path of we have to get better every day in order to earn the opportunity to get hot at the end and get those breaks and get those bounces and get those calls and have the wind blowing in our favor, whether we're pitching or hitting or whatever. It's just kind of believe in that, as silly as it sounds. But it's one of the drivers of why we are so focused on being committed to getting better every day, because we just want to earn the opportunity to get hot at the end, because that a lot of times is the difference. Our 2019 Michigan team that played for a national championship, we weren't physically more talented than some of the teams we beat. We just got hot when it meant the most. And another reason why I love coaching at this level is when you get 18 to 22, 24-year-olds that have confidence and feel hot, they are invincible. And it's that feeling of there's no way we're walking off this field without winning the game. It's an incredible feeling when you capture it and when you get it. So you're constantly chasing it because you're constantly chasing those celebratory moments at the end.
I'm almost speechless because I think I think you're hitting the nail on the head. You guys aren't out ahead of your skis, right? You're the 4th ranked team in the country, and you're acting as though you're middle of the road. You're going to struggle to make the tourney, right? Like, so you guys embody everything that you're saying. I can't stress that enough. So I just think it's going to be a great end of the season for you. There's about I think I counted 21 games left, so there's still a good bit of season left. But I definitely like where things are headed, and I hope you would too. Maybe a little less, serious questions at this point. We'll start with this one. So next year, again, getting antiquated with college baseball, you will have, my understanding, 34 full scholarships to give, as opposed to what you guys have now, about 12. And I think that'll dwindle down the number of roster spots you have, if I'm not mistaken. But how do you expect that to change the landscape of college baseball, if at all? And will you guys have a leg up because now you get to offer the scholarship, plus you're already ahead of this, the NIL type of thing?
Yeah, I mean, that a lot has to happen for that to happen, right?
Okay.
And the biggest thing, so the Judge Wilkin in California heard the House case yesterday, and there's some new things that were introduced yesterday, April 7th. She said that maybe we should look at the NCAA. The NCAA, should look at grandfathering in these roster changes. Maybe there should be not as big of a roster cut right away. So I don't even know how to answer the question because
that's fine.
What the ruling's going to be. I think we could be at 34 players next year, which would be a 15% roster cut, which across all of Division I baseball would be 1,800 new players going into the transfer portal that aren't already expecting to be in there. But I also don't know. They may say, you know what, it's I don't know. I don't know what I don't know.
That's okay. That's fair. I didn't realize it was still evolving. I thought that the 34 was specific, but as I should have known with the NCAA, nothing is concrete. That is for certain.
I think we're all of us as coaches are still kind of holding our breath, waiting to get the final verdict. And until that final verdict comes in, I don't know if we can maybe plan and prepare and have an idea, but I think we're all anticipating scrambling a little bit and maybe having to call some audibles to figure it out. But, the positive is that it definitely sounds like scholarships are going up regardless.
Mm-hmm.
And for a sport historically that has been synonymous with taking out student loan debt, that's a huge win. But on the flip side, there's going to be the elimination of roster spots. So roster spots go down, which means the competitiveness to get one of those roster spots goes up, which makes it a whole lot harder for the high school kid that maybe is the late bloomer, the guy that's gotten the roster spot as kind of the wait and see, high ceiling, projectable kind of guy. Maybe those roster spots at the tippy top of college baseball are less frequent, because with the transfer portal alive and well, coaches like me and us gravitate to the credentialed, proven Division I guy with Division I numbers that is a plug and go. We know what he's done, so we can project what he's going to do, versus an 18-year-old kid who's coming in and has never played a pitch of college baseball. So we still want to build our roster with the high school kid. We prefer to have the 3 and 4 year relationship with the high school player. But I think all of Division I baseball has seen a shift into just the roster construction and naturally gravitating to some older players. The age of college baseball has gotten older, the average age. And I think what we're going to see is the average freshman is also going to get older. And whether high school kids elect to go to junior college or some type of a post-grad year or an academy year or something like that, there's just going to be less roster spots, which means there's going to be more competition. And when you're not just going against other high school seniors, but you're going against, freshmen, sophomores, juniors, seniors, grad transfers of college kids, it's going to be tough. So I guess we'll see. We'll see what the final roster is going to be and how that's going to impact everyone. But, I know that we will do whatever it takes to continue to be competitive at the tippy top of college baseball, because we are addicted to that feeling of, going to Omaha and playing. I certainly can speak from experience, having tasted it in 2019. We were there for 15 days. It's like Crash Davis on the bus talking about the 15 greatest days of his life when he was in the show. He hit white balls for batting practice. Right? Like, Omaha was like that. It was 15 days in Omaha playing for a national championship. We played on the final day of college baseball. And even though we didn't win it, lost to Vanderbilt at Michigan, it was like every single decision we make is how can we get back here every year and have everyone experience this, because this is the greatest feeling in the world to be at the pinnacle of college baseball. And, and then how can you just be one game better so you can win it?
All right. Oh, it's Omaha or bust is what I heard. No, I'm joking.
At this level, it is.
Yeah.
We're okay with that. We know that we will be judged based on how far we go. We're off to a decent start, but who cares? The only thing we'll be judged on is, did we beat South Carolina, and how far do we play in June? And those are good barometers for us. And that's what you sign up for when you play at this type of level. And there's not many schools that can say that, but there are, a dozen, 2 dozen that's how they feel, and that's how their fan bases are. And that going in, and it's a great feeling to be a part of something like that, where everyone is so passionate about the success of the program.
I love that attitude as a whole. I saw something in the game notes. You guys have been hit 65 times. You have 65 hit by pitches in 32 games this year. Is that a strategy, or does that just happen? Are you guys practicing that? I know in high school I used to take some softball pitches off the arm and something to practice, but are you guys actively practicing that, or is that too far outlawed since, with the newer rules of being in the batter's box and all that stuff?
Dominic Listy has 60 of those. So, not the whole team. It's just Dom Listy out of the way of anything. The guy is fearless up there. No, but Jaron Purify and Dominic Listy have 25 hit by pitches between them. So, a good chunk of those, almost 40% of those, or whatever that math is the guys hitting at the top of the order. And so they know their role of setting the table and getting on base, whatever it takes. I mean, obviously if it's coming at your head, they're getting out of the way, but a lot of those are just backed up breaking balls that, they just hold their ground and take by pitch. And nowadays everyone's got their Iron Man suits on and all the protective stuff. So it's less of a risk nowadays with all the protective gear that they've got versus back in the day, when we played. But we prioritize having more walks and hit by pitches than strikeouts. So we have 308, if I'm looking at our stats right. We have 308 total walks and hit by pitches compared to 301 strikeouts. So we're doing a good job of that, and our team on base percentage is over 420. So we're doing a good job as a team of getting on base, and that's what the priority is. If we want to be a run scoring offense, which is what we want to be, then we got to get guys on base, and then we got to knock them in. But so far so good. We're scoring a good bit of runs, but we got guys who are bought into getting on base.
Yeah, it's the Moneyball scene, right? What do? They get on base, right? It's simple as that. When it boils down, there's a billion other inputs into that, but at the end of the day, it's did you get on base or not? And that 42% clip, that's pretty good overall. I'd be remiss if I didn't bring this up, and I'm stunned I waited this long to do it. How did you get beer sales going? Because I feel like you were a strong component of getting this going at Clemson. Maybe you weren't as much, but I want the inside info, because I feel like that area that you built out, your vision at the beginning of the season of, hey, we're going to move this bullpen onto the field. We're going to get rowdy. And now we have, a little area that we could have some, alcohol included. I think it's going to create a great environment, but I feel like you were on the forefront of this. And then they almost had to let football get it before you. If you don't want to speak to football getting it before you, that's fine. But I figured from an outsider perspective, that's what it seemed like.
Yeah, no. So the honest answer is I had nothing to do with alcohol sales. That's been in the mix since probably before I even got here. And that's, you've got a board of trustees, you've got President Clements, and you've got Graham Neff, and they are very aligned. And how do we keep the values, the family values of Clemson, while simultaneously parallel line moving into this new world of, there's going to be a lot more expenses associated with college athletics, specifically paying the players. Right. And so creating these new revenue streams, we were only one of 3 schools in the nation, us, BYU, and I think Utah, to not sell or sponsor alcohol at their sporting events. So it was already already time to position ourselves to create this revenue stream. And so it's already been in the works. And then when we, obviously the coaches are hearing this, and Graham's awesome about keeping us updated with, all the strategy of, and the moving parts of not just changing landscape globally with college athletics, but how we Clemson are going to position ourselves moving forward. So we knew it was not a question of if, but when. And so we also knew that there was a really good chance it was happening this season. So we just happened to have an area tactically, strategically, right next to the visiting team bullpen or visiting team dugout that was the biggest, greatest, most amazing visiting team bullpen area in the history of college baseball. I mean, these guys had enough room. They could have had massage tables and yoga mats. And,
it was huge.
It was like a resort over there. And we're like, what kind of home field advantage is this? Like the visiting team bullpen is nicer than the home team bullpen. This is crazy. So we said, you know what, we're gonna weaponize that space, make that for our fans, not for the opposing team. That's a great standing room only area. Mm-hmm. That's a great place to watch a game and be close to the action. Let's move the bullpen onto the foul territory of the playing field. And we can really create that 10th man atmosphere over there. And so it's been fun. It's been a lot of fun. It's been the perfect spot. So we got lucky with 2 things. One, the administration and from board of trustees down, we're already planning on implementing this, just didn't know when. And 2, we had the real estate to make it happen quick. And so, I didn't have anything to do with that. We all, kind of just said, hey, I think we got a great spot here to make this happen. And fortunately, the administration said, yeah, we do. Let's do it. That sounds like a great idea. So we had a few facility upgrades in the off season, not just that, but turf in all the foul area, extending the foul netting to protect all those fans in that new standing room only area. And so it's been really cool. It's been a lot of fun. And I'm looking forward to seeing what's more American than having a hot dog and a beer at a baseball game?
Nothing. There's nothing.
What's more American than that? So to be able to say that we've got one of the venues that now is, we're the only SEC, we're the only ACC or SEC college baseball program to not have it. And now we do. And so I'm excited for our fans, and I'm excited for our atmosphere, that maybe it'll attract more people to our games to know that, hey, our total concession offering is getting better. It's not just hot dogs and popcorn. We can start to move into, that's what I'm always looking for. Like I mentioned, how can we create the Battery at Truist Park? What are the things we can do to make people want to come to a Clemson baseball game, not just because of the baseball between the white lines, but all the other things happening outside the white lines. And this is a big step towards that.
I agree. And I think it's going to be a big draw. I love the stadium. I love the atmosphere in and of itself. It's a great place to catch a ball game. So if anybody is in the Clemson area, definitely go check them out. You won't get beat over the head for tickets either. That's something we could have even mentioned at the very beginning of, why college baseball. It's so much less expensive to go catch one of your games as opposed to, like you said, going down to the Battery in Atlanta. I also love your comparison of trying to not necessarily recreate step by step, but in your head, the Battery in Atlanta. I think that's the ultimate fan experience prior to the game. And I think, while you're on campus. You can't build the entire thing. Having that, area in game is one of the best things that could happen. I let's see. I don't really have many other questions. I do have one though. Our third baseman, Pano. Is it pronounced Pano?
Mm-hmm.
I think his nickname is, if it isn't already, needs to be Captain in Pano. I have been dying to catch a live home run or like right when it happens and just tweet Captain in Pano shows no mercy. And I've just been dying to do it. I haven't done it yet, but the minute I saw the name, I was like, this has to be it. So I don't know what his nickname is as we speak, but float that out there. Let me know if it sticks. Okay.
Okay. I'll mention to him that he's got a new nickname now. We'll see.
With that said, again, I want to thank you so much for coming on. It's been a pleasure. I will definitely be at another game or two throughout the rest of the season. I expect to be sitting next to you on the plane/bus to Omaha. So I'll let you know when. I'll give you my information to have that out there. No, but is there anything you need to say? Anything out there? A call to arms? Anything you'd like to say before we part ways?
Just every time I get a microphone in front of my face, I just implore the Clemson fans to follow our team on social media. No matter where you are, if you've got an account on some platform, and so do our players, I can guarantee it, follow them. The more followers they can get, the more influence they have, the more opportunities for affiliate marketing deals and monetization for them when NIL becomes commercially driven starting July 1st. So follow our team.
That's it. You heard it first, right from the man of your 4th-ranked Clemson Tigers. This is Coach Erik Bakich. Excuse me. For everything that we said, my name is Chris. This is the Coach's Sons podcast. Thank you all for listening. Take care.